Shalom SAR. I hope everybody is having a wonderful summer, wherever it is that you may be. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to learn a little bit about Parashat Devarim and give ourselves something to think about as we head not only into Parashat Devarim, but also into the upcoming day of Tisha B'Av. At the end of Perek Aleph of Sefer Devarim, Moshe retells the story of Chet HaMeraglim and how Bnei Israel ended up wandering in the Midbar for 40 years in the first place. After he does so, we find a pasuk that might seem a little bit unexpected. The Torah tells us, Ki Hashem Elokecha beirachacha v'chol ma'aseh yadecha, yada lechtecha hamidbar hagadol hazeh, ze 40 shana, Hashem Elokecha imach, lo chasarta davar. Loosely translated, it says that Hashem has blessed everything that we did, helped us through the Midbar all these years, and for these 40 years, you are not missing anything. At first glance, you would think this would be a little bit strange. They were just sent in the Midbar for committing the egregious sin of Chet HaMeraglim, for losing faith in Hashem, for doing all of these things wrong. And now it might seem surprising that Hashem would give them everything they need, all of these brachot, never make them work for anything. All this time they are wandering the Midbar, which was really a punishment. Before we answer this question, let's delve a little further into exactly what this means. Rashi adds the following to the phrase, Ki Hashem Elokecha beirachacha. He says, Lefichach lo tichpu tovato laharot ki ilu atem aniyim, Ela haru atzmechem ashirim. Rashi says that Bnei Israel, whenever they arrive somewhere, should not act like they cannot afford to buy anything. When they interact with nations, they should show that they are in fact a wealthy nation capable of purchasing anything that they need from the nation instead of acting as if they are a poor nation. What Rashi is saying is not only did Hashem bless everybody, but he wants to make sure that everybody knows it. The Sforno adds something very important to this. He says, Akiro Shalotique mehem litzorech, aval tiknu lahanata mitzad achva, uchadesh yavo alechem v'yiru maseh Hashem niflotav. Sforno adds something very important. He says, you're never going to buy something from another nation litzorech. You're not going to buy it out of necessity. You're not going to go to the nations and say, we don't have anything, we've been struggling in the desert. Because remember, Hashem has provided everything that you already need. But rather, you're either going to buy that just for enjoyment. Sometimes it's nice to have more than what we need to survive. But also, he says there's another motive. You want to get the other nations close to you, so they will see what it is Hashem has done and all of his greatness. We will use anything Hashem has given to us to bring the other nations to us, not just for business reasons, but for the purpose of convincing them that worshiping Hashem is the true way that they are supposed to act. Now, this is very different than some of the other theme that we see in Sefer Devarim, where there are often messages that we are supposed to go out and destroy other nations. Nechama Leibowitz, in the context of these psukim, gives us the following point. The new generation, the one that had been born in the Midbar and the one that had grown up in the Midbar, was very, very powerful. They had their own strength and vigor, and they had to learn to practice self-control. They could easily have gone out and destroyed all of the other nations, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was that they go out and use whatever means available to them to interact with the other nations, have them see that worshiping Hashem is the right decision, and from there, join the ways of Bnei Israel, as is the ultimate goal set out in Sefer Yeshayahu. As we are reminded as we head into what is called Shabbat Chazon, the right way to do things starts with our own actions. It's never the wrong time to stop and think about how we interact and what we are doing and what our goals are. And we are ultimately supposed to remember that the vision described in Sefer Yeshayahu of all of the nations coming together not because we've destroyed them and not because we intimidate them, because we show them the right way to worship Hashem so that they too will come with us to worship in the Beis Hamikdash. I wish everybody a wonderful Shabbos. I wish everybody a meaningful Tisha B'Av, and enjoy the rest of your summer. We look forward to seeing all of you back in a few short weeks in September.